time is 4 minutes past 6. My name is Michelle Ukemu.
And I'm Blessing Eme Obona.
With the News Express. Academic Staff Union of Universities tackles federal government over 4 trillion naira fuel subsidy budget.
President Buhari appoints new aid on job creation.
Kaduna State government imposes curfew on 2 local government areas as bandits kill villagers and raze houses.
3 confirmed deaths as Lassa fever outbreak hits Kogi community.
United States unveil new rounds of sanctions against Russia.
Plus, Manchester United officially announced Eric Ten Hag as new manager.
Remember, you can log on to www.ozisaradio.com to listen to the news live in any part of the world. You can also follow this news broadcast live on our social media handles on Facebook, Ozisa 96.1 FM, and on YouTube, Ozisa 96.1 FM Television. President Muhammadu Buhari is currently meeting with some ministers and head of security agencies at the presidential villa Abuja. The meeting, which started at early hours, is being presided by President Muhammadu Buhari and is sequel to the advice by the Council of State over the security challenge in the country. It is being attended by Vice President Yemi Osibajo, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and the National Security Advisor, NSA, Major General Babagana Mungono, retired. Ministers present at the meeting are those of Defense, Bashir Magachi, Interior, Rauf Aribesola, and Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyama. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Gambu, among others. Also in attendance are the Inspector General of Police, Akali Baba Usman, the Director General of the Department of State Service, DSS, Yusuf Bichi, and the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, are also in attendance. Newsmen recall that the President gave a serious warning on Wednesday while attending the National Executive Council meeting of the All Progressives Congress that he will be tougher in dealing with banditry and all forms of terrorism henceforth. Recall also that the nation was thrown into embarrassment when a Kaduna-bound train from Abuja was attacked by terrorists where 8 persons were killed.
Moving on, there was confusion at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, as a passenger at the domestic wing of the airport slumped. A female passenger, simply identified as Mama Toby, was at the boarding area for her flight to Lagos when it happened. She reportedly slumped as a result of high blood pressure. A lawyer, Felix Ashimole, told newsmen that the passenger, a diabetic patient, died as medical personnel from the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria refused to act on time. FAN spokesperson Mrs. Faithful Hope Ibaze denied that FAN did not respond on time, adding that doctors were on ground. She offered condolence to the family of the deceased.
Moving on, the Academic Staff Union of Universities has taken a swipe at the federal government for allocating 4 trillion naira to subsidize petrol products for Nigerians. The union accused the government of failing to prioritize the development of university education in the country. ASU President Professor Emmanuel Osodeke said this while addressing newsmen on Wednesday. The ASU President decried the situation where the government was focusing its attention on fuel subsidies, which is said does not exist, rather than showing interest in revamping the nation's universities. ASU had on February 14, 2022 announced a 4-week total and comprehensive warning strike following the inability of the union and the federal government to reach a common ground on the demands of university lecturers. Some of ASU's demands include the release of revitalization funds for universities, implementation of the renegotiated 2009 FGN ASU agreement, and the release of earned allowances for university lecturers. Others are deployment of university transparency and Accountability Solution (UTAS) for the payment of salaries and allowance of university lecturers.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Mrs. Matilda Mewa as Senior Special Assistant to the President on Employment and Job Creation, Office of the Minister of Labour and Employment. The Senior Special Assistant, who has held a number of posts in the private sector in Canada and international organizations, will work under the leadership of the Minister of Labour and Employment on issues of job creation. This was disclosed in a statement by Buhari's spokesman, Femi Adesina, today. Mrs. Mewa brings to the position over 30 years of experience in the field of strategic leadership, corporate governance, social inclusion, and economic development.
In another development, the Baji local government area of Kogi State has been hit by Lassa fever, with 3 patients reportedly dead. Also, no fewer than 20 patients are currently being treated at the Irua Teaching Hospital in neighboring Edo State. The situation has reportedly caused panic in the local government area, where there is no functional hospital to take care of the disease, resulting in the transfer to Irua. The special advisor to the governor on health matters, Abu Okiriki, said, as of today, the cases of Lassa fever recorded for Ibaji local government area currently in care at Irua Specialist Teaching Hospital are just 3. However, it is an outbreak. A source from the local government area who spoke on the condition of anonymity said the number of people affected who are currently receiving treatment at the hospital was more than the figure the governor's advisor disclosed. The former chairman, Ibaji Local Government Council, David Obu, and a one-time member, Kogi State House of Assembly, said, it is real that there is an incidence of Lassa fever in Aya and neighboring communities in Ibaji local government of Kogi State. According to reports, the first incident is that about 4 persons fell ill and died mysteriously without anybody diagnosing the disease and cause of death. After that, others who manifested similar symptoms were taken to Irua Specialist Hospital in Edo State.
The Kaduna State government has imposed a 24-hour curfew on Kaura and Jamal local government areas of the state. This comes hours after bandits attacked Kagoro chiefdom in Kaura local government area, killing at least 13 villagers while several properties were destroyed. Mr. Samuel Aruwan, the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, announced this in a statement on Wednesday. The Commissioner condemned the violence and all acts of lawlessness that have occurred in the area, saying the government has given the security agencies full authorization to enforce the curfew. He called on residents in the affected local government areas to cooperate with security agencies in a bid to restore peace and uphold law and order in the areas. Everyone also assured them that the government was monitoring the situation closely, stressing the need to avoid actions that could lead to a breakdown of law and order. Apart from the villagers killed, they were said to have ambushed and killed 3 soldiers who responded to a distress call and set ablaze scores of houses in Kagoro. The chairman of Kaura local government area, Matthias Siman, who also confirmed the attack to newsmen, put the figure of houses destroyed at over 100. According to him, the bandits invaded the community in 3 18-seater buses at about 7 p.m. on Sunday and operated till 11 p.m. Siman said 13 corpses have been recovered so far, while search and rescue operations were ongoing in the general area.
And from the foreign scene, the United States Treasury on Wednesday announced a new round of sanctions against Russia, picking out individuals and entities involved in attempts to evade previous sanctions imposed by the U.S. and its allies. The Treasury is also sanctioning 635 Russian nationals who are involved in suppressing dissent in Russia and abroad, who have been involved in activities that threaten the territorial integrity of Ukraine. It also stated that it is sanctioning those who have been involved in human rights abuses in prison facilities and places of unofficial detention in Russia-controlled areas of the Donbas region of Ukraine. I beg your pardon? Of the Donbas region of Ukraine. 3 Russian officials are targeted for involvement in gross violations of human rights, and including 17 individuals who are responsible for undermining democracy in Belarus. The sanctions mean that all U.S. property and interest in property of the targeted individuals are blocked. All U.S. transactions involving the individuals are also now prohibited unless authorized by the Treasury.
And finally, from the sports scene, Erik ten Hag will leave Ajax to become Manchester United manager next season, the English Giants confirmed today. The 52-year-old, who has signed a 3-year contract, faces a huge task to revive the Red Devils' fortunes after a 5th consecutive trophy-less season. The Dutchman becomes the 5th permanent manager at Old Trafford since Alex Ferguson's retirement in 2013 sent the 20-time English champions into decline. Ten Hag is on course to win his 3rd league title with Ajax and took the 4-time European champions to the semi-finals of the Champions League in 2019 for the first time in 22 years. United sits 6th in the Premier League, 23 points behind leaders Manchester City, and are unlikely to qualify for next season's Champions League. The club have been looking for a permanent manager since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked in October. Graf Ragnick was appointed interim boss for the remainder of the season, but the German has been unable to inspire an improvement in United's performance. Ragnick has been fiercely critical of the standard of the United squad in recent weeks, claiming after Tuesday's 4-0 defeat by Liverpool that United are 6 years behind their rivals. And that ends the news as edited by Chinonye Mwenyi. I am Blessing Eme Obunna.
Salam Michelle Ukebo. Good evening.